the rhythmic tapping of the coffee mug, and then that gaze. Olesya was suddenly yanked out of her thought reel. It was the remembrance of the gaze of that mysterious Indian man. Something forceful emitted from his eyes, and they burned like a live coal. Olesya kept reminiscing about what happened in that coffee shop on that fateful day. How she sat by the mysterious Indian man, conversing with him and subtly yielding to the dominating force that the presence of the Indian man exuded. The quiet impact of his intense presence made air about him dark and cozy. His right arm rested on the counter, holding the coffee mug, and his finger tapped its rim with a slow, peculiar rhythm, the only sign that indicated restlessness in his otherwise unmoving posture. "So, are you new in this town? Where are you from?" "India," Olesya asked. The Indian man replied, "Are you waiting for somebody?" He ignored her question, and Olesya played an apt slave, following his lead, continuing the conversation. Olesya answered, "No, I am not." "All right," murmured the mysterious Indian man, as if he needed that assurance. "So you're free today?" This was the first time he turned his face towards Olesya as he asked the question. Olesya felt slightly nervous at this gesture. It wasn't his face, but his gaze, burning, as if emitting something forceful. The face was more or less expressionless. It was the gaze that unsettled Olesya. She felt something deeply invasive poured into her through it, and she felt a slight pressure between the space of her eyebrows. It felt something like an inquiry without her consent, a violation. She turned her gaze away from him, fixing it instead on his finger, still tapping the mug with that same peculiar rhythm, though slowed, and replied, "Yes, but why?" The Indian man kept his gaze locked on her face and said, "The conscious is the passage to the subconscious." "I'm sorry, what?" she stammered, her mind plunging deep into confusion, and all of a sudden she felt this urgency poking her from within to wink at the Indian man, and she winked. What was going on? Was it a conversation or an exercise in dominance? Why did Olesya wink at the Indian man? Was it hypnotism or some sort of telepathic suggestion? Was this conversation an experiment? The story continues in Story at PB Chapter 8.